Hey, this is Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to share the actual pricing for $25,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 79-year-old female. Now, first thing I always recommend is go directly to our website at funeralfunds.com and you can try out this quoter. We've got these free quoters on just about every page. Just select the state that you lived in and the coverage amount, and then put your birthday and the other info in there. Click Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page that's going to show you the best insurance companies with the lowest pricing based off your age, gender, and the state that you live in. And you can check out all the pricing from all the different insurance companies there, and then give us a call at 888-862-9456, and we can help you understand what you qualify for. Now, one of the first things we always have a conversation with a 79-year-old female about if they're looking for $25,000 worth of insurance is that $25,000 going to be adequate for your final expense needs? Now, typically, final expense needs would be cremation or burial. So let's take a look at cremation. There's two options. The first option for cremation, where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn. That's typically going to cost about $1,000 to $2,000. The second option is going to be where you are cremated, but there's some sort of a ceremony, maybe a celebration of life or remembrance ceremony, something like that. That's typically going to run $3,500 to $4,500, depending where you live in the country. Now, for coverage amounts, the first option, the cremation where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn, we would typically help people with around $5,000 to $7,000 worth of coverage. And you're probably going, well, hold on, Randy, because the cremation's $2,000 and you're saying the insurance could be $5,000. What's the deal there? Well, the thing is our 79-year-old female probably wants to make it to age 89 as long as her health holds up, right? Yeah. So what we actually do is build in a little extra insurance coverage that's going to cover the cost of inflation if our 79-year-old female gets all the way up to age 89 or older. And then what we do is we actually lock in the lowest rates right now at her youngest age of 79. So we inflation-proof the plan long-term, but by the same token, if you die unexpectedly early in the first 2, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever that would be, there's extra money available to take care of other final expenses, like maybe medical bills or credit card bills, that if you'd been given the gift of time, you would have had those things paid off. So it works terrific for most folks in that we inflation-proof the plan for long-term, provide extra funds for the short-term so that the family member doesn't have to pay anything. Now, for the cremation where we're going to have that ceremony, we would typically help people with somewhere around $7,000 to $10,000 for the same reason as the first, that conceptually we want to protect against inflation, but if you die sooner than anybody thinks, there's some extra money for some extra final expenses. Now, burial, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is right around $10,000. It's hard to imagine, you wouldn't be able to walk into a funeral home with a $10,000 check and they wouldn't help you. If they didn't, you just walk out the front door, walk 2 blocks down the road to one of their competitors, and they would help you, I'm sure. But just understand that $10,000 is what it costs for a funeral right now. That's not going to be anything fancy, I can assure you that, but they should be able to get things done. But if you're on a fixed or limited income, and that's all you can afford, get that $10,000. That's going to take care of your most immediate needs. But most people that we help, age 79 female, we're typically going to help them if it's a burial between $10,000 and $15,000. Now, if there's going to be something very extravagant or a body needs to be transported out of state or something, we can certainly help out with that $20,000 to $25,000. But typically that's not the case. And we don't recommend you over-insuring on this insurance, especially at age 79. So one thing that also happens is sometimes we'll get a 79-year-old female who will call up and say, hey, I want to take care of my final expenses, but I also want to leave money behind for the kids. And the request we generally get is, like maybe $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. And then we run those rates. And I can assure you one thing, $50,000 in whole life insurance at age 79 gets expensive. And then we show it to our client and she may say, well, you know what? That's too expensive. I can't afford that. If I can't do everything, I'm not going to do anything at all. We have to remind her that she came in originally wanting the final expenses taken care of, because we know she's going to die. Everybody dies. And we know that's going to be an expense that's out there. If she doesn't take care of that, her family member or children are going to have to pay for this. Typically, they're going to have to put that on a credit card, 26% interest, and they'll be paying on that for years and years and years. So it's just a terrible financial burden. So we would suggest, let's take care of the final expense insurance first, and then we can always come back later and add in a second policy as your finances allow for the children. And that's kind of the best of both worlds. Now, if money's not an issue, we can certainly roll both of those into one for folks, but most people we help are on Social Security or disability. So we really are just diligent in working with people with their finances and what works for them. Now, one thing we always recommend is getting first day coverage or benefits. We do not recommend those plans with 2-year waiting periods at all. We'll talk about those in just a minute. But what first day coverage means is that hypothetically, if your plan were issued and approved today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would have to pay that $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000. It's the best coverage. It's also the lowest pricing. Now, sometimes people will say, hey, Randy, you're right. I do like that first day coverage, but I'm not in the best of health. And I know they ask health questions and I'm a little worried I won't qualify. To which we say, hey, that's our problem, not your problem, at least from an insurance standpoint. What we mean by that is we work with a whole bunch of different insurance companies and they all have different underwriting requirements. So right now, we're getting around 90-95% of the people we help are qualifying for first day coverage or benefits. Really, the only reason you wouldn't qualify for first day coverage is if you had some really significant health issues going on, like maybe you had a terminal illness and you're going to die in the next 12 months, or you had dementia, or you were on dialysis or in a hospital or in a nursing home. If that were the case, we'd typically refer you to a different insurance company. The other thing that seems to happen on a weekly basis is we'll get people that will call in and say, hey, we had a family member pass away last week and they didn't have insurance and we don't have any money. And now the body's down at the funeral home and the funeral home director won't do anything till he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance really quick so we can get that money to pay the funeral home director. And we have to let them know there's no insurance company in the United States that's going to approve a plan on a dead person. And it's unfortunate and it's sad that their family member passed away, but it's like also sad that they didn't care enough about their family to have this insurance in place. They knew they were going to die someday. They probably thought about getting this insurance and put it off. And then one day they just went and died. And now their family members have to put up with this. They have to take care of this. Chances are they're going to have to put it on a credit card and they're going to be paying 26% interest and it's going to take years to pay off. And what a terrible legacy to leave behind. You could have done everything else in life right and you messed this one last thing up and this is how you'll be remembered. So don't do that. Don't put your responsibility, your financial responsibility onto somebody else. Just take care of this. It's affordable. We can work with you. If you need to, you can start low. We can always add more coverage later. Now, as I mentioned earlier, one plan we don't recommend is those plans with 2-year waiting periods. And you've probably heard of Colonial Penn. Seems like they advertise all the time on TV. I think there are $9.95 commercials playing about every 7 minutes on the television, right? So if you didn't know this, that $9.95 plan, that is a 2-year waiting period plan. Ouch, right? Yuck. You don't want that. What that means is if you die in the first 2 years of any health or medical reason, it's not going to pay out a death benefit. So yeah, you never want to get a 2-year waiting period plan if you qualify for first day coverage, and we can help you understand if you can qualify. But yeah, so Colonial Penn, they're not the only company out there that offers those 2-year waiting period plans. There's other companies too, like Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha line, AIG, Gerber. Gosh, there's a bunch of companies out there. And some of these companies have done an amazing job of convincing the American public that if you're over age 50, the only thing you're going to qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period, to which we always say, don't believe such nonsense, right? Yeah, don't believe that garbage, because we help people with first day coverage all day long. Now, our 79-year-old female probably just got done watching one of those Colonial Penn TV commercials, and she's probably thinking, oh my gosh, I outsmarted Colonial Penn. I waited until age 79, and I saw that commercial. I'm getting my $9.95 insurance, and I'm probably going to get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000 for only $9.95. And then she talks with the Colonial Penn agent or goes on Colonial Penn's website like we've done for you here and sees that a female, age 79, 1 unit of coverage, which is $9.95, is only going to pay out $627. Yeah, nothing. That's not even enough to pay for a cremation anywhere that we know of in the United States. And even if it did, it wouldn't matter because it's got one of those 2-year waiting periods. You don't want one of those. No, you don't. So yeah, why would you ever get a plan just strictly off the price when it provides such minuscule coverage? Now, there's some people that would say that they do say that there's companies out there that offer these really low teaser rates, right? They tease you to get your information, offer these teaser rates just to get your information so they can get you entered into their marketing funnel, so they can get you on the phone someday. And then they don't even want to, some people would say this, some people would say they don't even want you to buy this low price plan with this minuscule coverage. And they'll say, you know, oh, for this price here, but oh, that's not going to be nearly enough coverage. That's not going to work. Let's get you more coverage. And then they upsell you into more expensive coverage that's much more profitable to them. So we would never say Colonial Penn would do anything like that, but there's some people out there who feel that companies do that out there. And you can make your own determination, I guess, based off the fact that $9.95 is only going to get you $627. Yikes. So let's see, because we want to get $25,000. That's what this video is about. I promised you I'm going to take care of that. The challenge with Colonial Penn is that they only go up to 15 units. They max out right there at 15 units. And the only thing you're going to get is $9,405, and it's going to cost you $150. So that is like woefully inadequate if you want $25,000. Let's go see what $25,000 will cost in first day coverage. And I can tell you, I just want to be just transparent with you here that we really don't help many 79-year-olds with $25,000 because it can kind of get expensive just because you waited until you were 79 years old, right? Let's take a look here. 25,000 female, age 79. Here we go. Hold on to your britches. That's not too bad, I guess, right? 226. I mean, that's a lot of coverage, 25,000. It's whole life insurance. It's permanent. It's always going to be there for you. Preferred in this case means it is first day coverage. Level also means it first day coverage. Don't get hung up on the insurance companies because there's some companies out there that you may qualify for and some you won't. We'll shop all those different ones and find out which ones you qualify for. But let's take a look at this one. This is 226. Now this is for first day coverage and 25,000. But when you go over here to Colonial Penn, you're paying 150 for 9,405. One thing we frequently see in many age ranges is that Colonial Penn is typically going to be right at or around 200% higher, 200% more expensive than first day coverage. So yeah, you really want to avoid 2-year waiting periods. You need to be an educated consumer, and insurance can be confusing, but we can make it simple for you so that you can be that educated consumer. Let's look at some other companies here because we know the lowest is right around 226. And you'll be able to see all these different insurance companies. But look at this one here. We got, remember our lowest was 226. Look at this, Lincoln Heritage. I guess they're a fine company, I guess, if you like higher prices. They're literally $100 more, right at or around $100 more. It is first day coverage, but oh my gosh, it's around $100 more. Why is it so expensive? Well, Lincoln Heritage has a deal where when you pass away, they will supposedly call 2 or 3 different funeral homes and get the lowest pricing, maybe do a couple other things, but they don't do that for free. No, they charge extra for that. In this case, right around $100 more. And let's do the math on this. Pretty easy math, right? $100 a month times 12 months, you can overpay around $1,200, $1,200 on an annual basis. And if our 79-year-old female makes it up to age 89, you have overpaid right around $12,000. So ask yourself, is it worth paying an extra $12,000 to an insurance company for them to just make 2 or 3 phone calls to some funeral homes and do a couple other things that might take an hour or so to do? A lot of people would say that's an amazing payday for an insurance company. And we would have to say that as well. And just, you know, I tell you what, keep that money. Do not give that money away to an insurance company. When you can get a lower price, it's going to save you $12,000 over the next 10 years. Yeah, do not transfer all that wealth out of your bank account to an insurance company's bank account. So what we recommend you do is let us help you get approved for the lower price plan. And then what we offer, free of charge, by the way, is a free funeral and estate planning guide. You can download that off our website. Once it's downloaded, print it out. And once it's printed out, fill it out. And you just fill out who gets what goes where, and what you want done after you're gone. And then keep it with your insurance policy. And that way, when you pass away, your family members will go to that one place and they'll know that you not only loved and protected them financially with the insurance policy, they'll know that you loved and protected them emotionally with the funeral and estate planning guide. And all they'll need to do is open up that funeral and estate planning guide and just start reading it. And they'll know exactly what you wanted done. And all they need to do is just execute your wishes exactly how you said. And they'll know that you not only loved and protected them in life, but they'll know that you loved and protected them in death as well. Exactly when they would need you the most, but you weren't there, but you took care of this in advance. What a wonderful legacy to leave behind. If you want to leave a legacy like that, just reach out to us at Funeral Funds of America. We've got a special quote for our YouTube visitors, funeralfunds.com/YouTube. And you can see the best insurance companies with the lowest rates, with the most discounts. And you can see all the pricing. And then give us a call at 888-862-9456, and we can help you understand what you qualify for. But if you've got an existing insurance policy and you want us to price shop it to see if we can get you lower rates, or you just want to add coverage to it, we can help you out with that. If you are looking for a brand new plan or just have questions about what you might qualify for or pricing or anything like that, we can help you out with that. But we look forward to helping you get the most amount of insurance for the least amount of money. We will be blessed to help you with this at some point in the future. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day.